Hi, this is Alec Pacella. I'm in Salt Lake City, specifically in an area called Temple Square. So those of you that are familiar with this area in this region, you may know that Salt Lake City is ground zero. That is basically the Vatican for the Roman Catholic faith is the equivalent of Temple Square in Salt Lake City for the Mormon faith, Church of Latter-day Saints. And so I'm walking through this area this morning, taking a nice brisk walk on a beautiful early Salt Lake City day, and I came across this Temple Square area. I'm walking around and I noticed a lot of construction. So I did a little bit of research and it's very interesting. So I had to come back here and shoot a video. Very, very interesting what's going on here. So this is a very wide scope of renovation projects, but specifically the largest thing and the thing that caught my attention, over my shoulder, you can see what's called the Salt Lake Temple. So this is built in the late 1800s. And it is the St. Peter's, if you will, for the Mormon faith. 187 million pounds this thing weighs. And the problem is, and I didn't realize this, there's a couple fault zones that pass through Salt Lake City. And so there's been a couple earthquakes, temple has sustained some damages, so there was a lot of concern that if the big one ever really does strike here, that structure could be at least seriously damaged, if not completely destroyed. So they started a renovation project in 2019, and I'm going to focus again on the temple. Three things that they're going to do to that. Seismic upgrade, so they did various improvements and changed materials to make it more earthquake resistant. Structural integrity, so there's cables and some various things that are being used in some of the spires and higher elements to make them a little bit more, have higher structural integrity. But the real thing that got me interested is base isolation, this base isolation project. So like I said, this thing weighs 187 million pounds. What they are doing is they are going to or they're in the process of putting a completely new foundation. The base of this, the foundation of the current temple, is going to rest on 98 cylinders, basically round beams. And those cylinders are going to be sitting on a new foundation. And so the idea is if an earthquake ever does hit, that the structure will be able to kind of rock and roll around, because on these, almost like being on roller skates, akin to being, for a simpleton like me, akin to being on roller skates. So if the structure's on roller skates and kind of can ebb and flow to the results of the earthquake, it's going to be a lot less susceptible to damage. But this base isolation, fascinating project, started in 2019, serious undertaking, not expected to be complete until 2026. So now you've seen what I see at PVC. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Wonderful weekend ahead.